Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Minneapolis North High School as we continue our coverage of high school basketball. Another Minneapolis City Conference game awaits us. Minneapolis North hosts Minneapolis Washburn in a battle that could have major implications for the conference title. Minneapolis North at 7-7, undefeated in conference play at 4-0. Minneapolis Washburn 7-4, 2-1 in the conference. Greetings, you viewers out there. I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for joining us in another edition of Minneapolis City Conference basketball. Minneapolis North has won back-to-back games thanks to the rising sophomore duo of Mpls Jackson and Tyler Johnson. If you were with us for the Henry game on Friday, the two hooked up in a big way, leading the Minneapolis North offense to an 85-70 win. Mpls Jackson scored a season-high 25 points, and Tyler Johnson put in 17. And between their acrobatic dunks, their heads-up defense in your face, it was a fireworks display, very entertaining to see. And with Minneapolis North alumni Khaled El-Amin rallying the North fan base, this school is returning to form, the form that was a powerhouse in boys basketball, winning 5 state championships. Minneapolis Washburn won back in 2009, as you know, came within a basket of winning the 2011 Class 3A state championship, actually 2012. But now they're also returning to their pedestal under Jamin Cook's second season. Said last year was a bit of a rough transition, but the distractions have been eliminated, and all the players are now buying into his philosophy, which differed from their previous head coach, Reggie Perkins, who ironically is now the athletic director in Minneapolis Washburn. Balance is going to be a paramount element for the Millers. 4 of their 5 starters averaged double digits in scoring, and speaking with Jamin Cook, he mentioned if they can maintain that balance, it will be a huge benefit to their chances for victory. Speaking of victory, let's take a look at our keys to the game. Minneapolis Washburn, their keys will be transition and rebounding. Minneapolis North, a very young team, but they have some height, especially in the post with Randy Matthews and Odell Wilson Jr., and transition opportunities will be an area to watch because Washburn likes to utilize a brisk tempo. Minneapolis North can also do so, but they're going to look to establish more of a half-court presence this time around in an attempt to slow down the older and more experienced Minneapolis Washburn team. So a slower tempo will ensure that more half-court possessions are played out, and discipline. Minneapolis North, a very aggressive team, but they are prone to racking up fouls. 3 players fouled out in their win over Henry, even though it came late enough where it had no effect on their lead. If they get into foul trouble early, they don't play a deep roster, 9 or 10 players, Minneapolis Washburn could wear them down. The starting lineups and the tip-off are coming up in a few minutes. This is high school boys basketball. Welcome back to Minneapolis North High School. I should mention it is good evening, not good afternoon. We are a little later in the 24-hour window. But with that, let's take a look at the starting lineups for the visiting Minneapolis Washburn Millers. Number 2, Kevin Gleason, the 5'10 junior guard. Number 5, Quentin Garvis, 6'2 senior forward. Number 12, Evan Shepard, 6'4 junior forward. Number 23, Jeff Jones, 6'1 senior guard. And number 54, George Clark, 6'5 senior center. Minneapolis North, a different lineup tonight, slightly altered from the Friday game. DJ Hunter, number 1, 6'3 freshman forward, will get the start. Mpls Jackson, number 3, 6'6 sophomore forward. Tyler Johnson, number 10, 6'2 sophomore guard. Number 30, Edo Walker, 5'10 sophomore guard. And number 35, Isaac Johnson, 6'4 freshman guard. And Minneapolis North, it's a little more of an eccentric or unique rotation. They cycle through their starting lineup. Most teams will start the same 5 players unless there's an injury or suspension or some other issue that prevents them from participating. Minneapolis North prefers to rotate their starters based on the matchup. And because they have a young group, they're still in the experimental stages, even though the results have already proven positive in the first half of the year. Minneapolis North has won back-to-back games, coming in at 7-7. They briefly eclipsed the 500 mark in late December with the 104-84 win over Bemidji before losing 3 straight at an Augsburg tournament, and now they've won their last 2, looking to get back above 500 again. Minneapolis Washburn at 7-4 lost a 2-point decision to Minneapolis Southwest, a team Minneapolis North has already defeated. They won that game 82-77. We had that match for you, and we've got a bit of some cutthroat competition for headbands. Somebody wants to sell it on eBay. Going over Minneapolis Washburn's schedule, they won 5 straight in the month of December before losing 2 in a row, Park Center and Minneapolis Southwest. They are 2-1 in the conference, Minneapolis North at 4-0, and this game is crucial for the conference standings for that bonus game, the Twin Cities Championship, and here's why. Minneapolis North, if the season were to end now, would hold the tiebreaker, having the longer drought. Minneapolis Washburn going in 2011. So Washburn needs to win this game, and then they'd still be a half game behind, to get them a little more leverage and get themselves in position to play in the Twin Cities Championship. They wouldn't host it this year. It's going to be at the St. Paul's site, but it would be a marquee tune-up before the state tournament. Minneapolis Southwest also at 2-1, of course going there last year, so they're looking for a little bit of help as well. Minneapolis Washburn wearing the whites, Minneapolis North wearing the blue. Washburn, winners of the 1994 and 2009 state tournaments, and came within 8 seconds of winning in 2012, but lost on a baseline jumper to A.J. Barker and De La Salle. The tip-off heads right to the north bench, and the officials signal white ball, meaning Washburn, and the north bench. Ooh, that could have been ugly. Larry McKenzie, the head coach of Minneapolis North, you know his name by now. It's his first season here, spent the last 5 seasons with the Holy Angels, and of course spent all those years at Minneapolis Patrick Henry, winning 4 state championships for the Patriots. And on the drive and the score is Evan Shepard. If his name sounds familiar, he is the cousin of Emma Shepard, who plays on the varsity girls team. You'll be seeing them in a couple of days. We have their game against New Richland HEG down in Owatonna, a rematch of last year's Class 2A state semifinal. And Minneapolis North slowing the tempo down, as we talked about in the keys to the game. This is what they want to do, establish a half-court set, play longer, extended possessions. Jackson, 3, short, rebound, last touched by Minneapolis Washburn, so an offensive rebound via the dead ball. Jameel Jackson, as we said, scoring a season-high 25 points. He averages about 13 a game. Tyler Johnson, the team's leader in that mark, averaging about 17 and a half. Edo Walker, promoted from junior varsity to the varsity roster early in the season and scored 8 points in the win over Henry, was very proficient in penetrating through lanes. Hunter for 3, bullseye. Minneapolis North choosing not to penetrate to the baseline on that time or in the paint, but the outside groove worked for them. Washburn puts an outside shot in of their own. That's Jeff Jones with the score. North seeing numbers. Tyler Johnson trying to draw the foul, can't do it. Isaac Johnson with the offensive rebound. Blocked in the fadeaway by George Clark. Scramble for the ball. It's picked up by Walker. He'll find DJ Hunter. He's got an opening on the baseline. Swish! Hunter has all 5 of Minneapolis North's points. 5-5 is the score with 16:07 left in the first half. We mentioned 4 of 5's Washburn starters averaging double figures in scoring. Shepard, contact, no foul, but he drains the triple. Shepard up to 5 points. Shepard leading the team in scoring at 16.4. The other scorers, Garvis, Jones, Jameel Jackson puts down the response. It's a 3-point shootout thus far. We're tied at 8. The other double-digit scorer is George Clark for the Millers. Jones thought about it, goes to Gleason. Shepard open again. Can't hit the triple that time. Rebound Walker. He was ready on the weak side. Johnson double team. Bounce pass over to Jameel Jackson. Jackson turn around. No. Rebound George Clark. Shepard with numbers. He'll take the roll. And a stoppage in play. The basket counts, but Tyler Johnson's shoelaces became undone, and that has to be corrected, of course, because we certainly don't want a player tripping and causing a safety hazard. But Evan Shepard off to a frenetic start. 7 points. His season high is 29. It's still early, but he's providing a major dose of offense for the Millers. It's a 10-8 score. Jackson in the paint. Once again, trying to draw contact, can't do so. Play at the rim is no good. That was Odell Wilson Jr. on the play. He's the lone 8th grader. Washburn on the give and go. George Clark with the score. This figures to be one of North's toughest challenges in conference play. Washburn having a strong pedigree. DJ Hunter draws the foul. I believe it will be charged to Gleason. It is against Gleason, and that's our first foul of the game. And an early timeout by Larry McKenzie. It's not uncommon for him to signal an early timeout call. And that stops the clock with 14:24 left. Washburn with a 12-8 lead over Minneapolis North. DJ Hunter providing a quick burst of offense for the Pullers. He averages about 5.5 per game, so he's already close to his average, a 36% field goal shooter. Tyler Johnson, that was close to being picked off. The runner gets a friendly bounce. And Tyler Johnson scores his first field goal. Shepard, this time uses the pump fake. The runner's off the mark. He gets his own rebound and putback though. He's up to 9 points. And Evan Shepard, attentive thus far. A respectable crowd tonight, not quite the packed house in the North Henry game. Jameel Jackson draws the foul, will shoot free throws, but as we discussed in Friday's game, the more wins North collects this season, the more word will spread. Jameel Jackson at the line. That's one area they've struggled with this season. The free throws. Jameel Jackson just a 60% free throw shooter. Averaging about 13 points per game, but he was on fire in the win over Henry. On both sides of the ball. Odell Wilson, turnaround hook off the mark. And there's Jameel Jackson for the cleanup. That's on cue. Jameel Jackson with a pair. And And that was why he put up 25 points. It wasn't just his work on offense. He was in your face on defense. That led to a lot of transition opportunities. Jeff Jones with the score for Washburn. And Jackson had several coast-to-coast plays. He had several dunks as well. He was the player of the game. Washburn with the steal. It's Clark. Evan Shepard is open. Beats his coverage. Can't get the finish though, but George Clark is there to clean up the mess. Offensive rebounding. Always a key at this sport. Edo Walker breaks through the double team but can't get the bank. Odell Wilson Jr. with the offensive rebound, used up his dribble. Jameel Jackson for three. Off the rim, no good. Wilson, yes. That actually was Jaquan Sanders on the score. Sanders, one of the reliable bench options for the Polars. 18-14. Jeff Jones thought about a three. Long pass to Shepard, who will fire the triple. Off the heel. And a foul will be charged to Tyler Johnson. In the game for the Millers, number 5, Quentin Garvis. Actually hasn't been subbed out, he just has been quiet thus far. Non-shooting foul is called. So Kevin Gleason will inbound it. Gleason, the only starter not in double figures in scoring, but he's not far behind. He averages 9 points per game. And Washburn getting some distribution in their point production thus far. Double dribble violation is called on Garvis, and a turnover is charged to the Millers. Washburn trying to run the trap again. It pays off this time. They force a traveling violation against North. Washburn going through a tumultuous phase a year ago. Some of you may know there were a couple of developments that brought some unwanted light in their direction. There was the effigy last winter that promoted some healthy discussions. Shepard for three. He's hit his first two, but hasn't hit since. But the offensive rebounding has been stellar for the Millers, but they can't come up with the pair that time. Jackson one-on-one, spins around, can't get the bounce. Isaac Johnson fighting for it, and a foul is called. They promoted a healthy discussion on race relations at the school, and then later in the spring, their athletic director, Daniel Pratt, was released after a couple of purchases that weren't cleared by the school were discovered. But he was a popular figure at Washburn, and I'll explain more about that story in a moment. Kick ball, North keeps it. Minneapolis North, once on the verge of closure, is now witnessing a rise in enrollment. North turns it over. 18-14 is our score, 10:58 left in the first half. Enrollment has already more than doubled from last year to this year. As basketball has become the platform for a renaissance in culture. Washburn for three. Bullseye! Jabril Powell with the tray. Tyler Johnson on the drive, draws the foul. He'll shoot free throws. As you mentioned, free throw shooting suspect at best for the Polars. Tyler Johnson 65%. Nobody on North's roster has a free throw percentage above that mark. And in the first game of the year, in a 1-point loss to St. Paul Central, North hit just 16 of 32 free throws. Any one of them could have changed the outcome of that game. The other facets are coming to form for Minneapolis North, but the free throws are a different story. Johnson splits. It's a 6-point margin. North forcing the turnover off the inbound play, so a full court defensive scheme gets them control of the rock. Tyler Johnson has a screen to work with. He'll feed to Hunter instead. They swing around the perimeter. Isaac Johnson's three is well strong, but Jameel Jackson's there. He's trapped in the baseline, though. That was last touched by Powell, so Johnson's able to retrieve it. Didn't cross the backcourt line anyway. Johnson is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line again. Already the 15th foul against the Millers. Johnson 1 of 2 from the free throw line. North as a unit, 1 of 4 thus far. The foul is charged to number 42. We'll get his number in a moment. D'Angelo Pruitt-Cooper. That's the second on Pruitt-Cooper, so he will ride the bench for a while. Johnson missing both. North a 1 of 6 start from the free throw line. Odell Wilson trying to save it. Can't do so. Minneapolis Washburn has a familiar face on their coaching staff. Jamin Cook was an assistant under Reggie Perkins. That's not who I'm referring to. One of their assistants, Emil Jihad. You may recognize him as the head coach at Minneapolis South. Powell for 3. That's short. And Washburn stepped out of bounds. Jeff Jones was able to strip the ball away from Tyler Johnson, but did not have the space he needed. Emil Jihad was the head coach at Minneapolis South in the Taylor Hill era, won a state championship in 2009, qualified for 3 straight years, which included perhaps the best rivalry in girls basketball. Odell Wilson with the post-up move. Minneapolis South against St. Paul Central. The Minutemen won both of those contests at the state tournaments. South beat Centennial in 2009 to get the 4A state championship in girls basketball. That's going to be a turnover on Washburn. No, a deflection was ruled, so Washburn keeps the rock. Here's Powell. He has 1-on-1. Pulls the crossover off. Doesn't have the space, but he draws the foul against Wilson. Wilson could not get set in time, and he'll take the blocking foul instead. That's his first personal. North, so far, a clean defensive outing. That's their second foul. Discipline is going to be a key. Powell, pump fakes a 3. Baseline attack is short. Rebound. DJ Hunter, whose mother identified herself at the Henry game, brought a huge sign whenever he made a scoring play. Isaac Johnson pulls back, passes out to Walker, top of the key. Strong, offensive rebound, and the lay-in by Tyler Johnson. Second chance points, plentiful on both sides. Jamin Cook will call timeout. 8:33 remains on the clock. A 21-19 score, as North has trimmed a 7-point lead to 2 with their offensive rebounding, among other things. Minneapolis North is promoting their rematch with Minneapolis Henry following that 85-70 win in a game where I nearly lost my voice. They are hosting a blowout, promoting the rivalry. And taking advantage of the growing crowds that attend Minneapolis North games. In the rapidly evolving culture here in the north side of Minneapolis. Jones couldn't hit the jumper there. Wilson with the rebound. Johnson over to Jackson. North didn't see an opening, so they'll go back to a half-court set. Jackson, deep three. That's strong, and the rebound by number 40. We'll get his name for you in a moment. Jeff Jones. He draws the foul. That was before the shot. We'll get number 40 for you at the halftime intermission. He looks a little tall to be Bale Kier, who wears number 20. North will send in Jaquan Sanders and take out DJ Hunter. Jones to inbound. Shepard for three. Bullseye. It's the second tray for Evan Shepard. He has 12 points, half of Washburn's total. Turnaround is strong from Wilson. Jeff Jones has it. Washburn has numbers. The Millers on the run. Jeff Jones coast to coast. Jones up to 7, and Washburn almost instantly has pushed their lead back to 7. Walker to Johnson from the wing. No. Rebound. Dead ball rebound to Minneapolis North. .708 on the clock. And I see the Minneapolis Washburn girls team has found their way into this game. And Ozeric Rogers has found his way onto the scoring column in his first stint on the floor. Jones in trouble. Can't draw the foul. Tyler Johnson has it. One-on-one coverage. And Jabril Powell fouls him. That was his only option to prevent a fast break score. And the Washburn bench applauding the move. No, they get the clean block. No, I take that back. It's ruled a flagrant. It's ruled a flagrant foul. So 2 shots and the ball for Minneapolis North. Powell was not intending to injure Tyler Johnson, but made contact with his head. Again, his goal was to stop a fast break layup. Tyler Johnson had the ball and nothing to impede him, but a flagrant foul is ruled, so Tyler Johnson will shoot 2 free throws and North will keep the ball. But the free throw issues of Minneapolis North make those fouls less of a concern. Johnson does split on that end. And a technical foul was called on Edo Walker, it appears. He sets a number on the screen, and North getting one foul in their direction. Edo Walker not on the floor, though. They may have scored that incorrectly. In any case, a technical foul was called against North, and in all of this mayhem, so free throws are coming for Washburn. This is Quentin Garvis, who had not scored until there. This is Minneapolis Washburn's first trip to the free throw line, I might add. Garvis averaging 12.2 points per game. His season high is 23. Makes both there. Well, Washburn will get the ball. A very unusual sequence. One fans are not exposed to. Garvis gets the old-fashioned pair. And Garvis goes from 0 to 4 in the span of about 5 seconds. Isaac Johnson feeding Wilson on the entry pass. Tried to go set up to Rogers on the outlet. Jabril Powell with the steal. Blocked by Johnson. North on the run. Wilson. No! He draws the blocking foul, though. But Minneapolis North just 2 of 8 from the charity stripe. Odell Wilson hasn't scored much. Just a little over 4 points per game. And he averages about the same in rebounds. 38% free throw shooter. More accurate from the floor, 47%. But remember, he's an 8th grader, still adapting to his body and adapting to varsity play with the new system. Minneapolis North is in the bonus. Wilson splits. Brings him up to 3. Washburn up by 7, 30 to 23. North has not led in this game. Garvis, the pass was high, so he can't attack with one-on-one coverage. They'll go to George Clark instead, and he'll shoot free throws. And now we're seeing a little more reaching and grabbing on both sides. The foul is tagged. We'll get the foul in a moment. Clark averaging 10.4 a game. The foul is charged to Wilson. That's his second personal. And North with just 1 foul left to give. Clark has 2 field goals. But he splits on that trip. Johnson out to Walker. Walker going to Wilson. Wilson beats his man, but he's blocked by Clark. Jameel Jackson throws it up simply to draw the foul. That actually was Jaquan Sanders, but tough to tell. They both have similar hairdos. Jaquan Sanders, again, a reliable bench scorer for the team. He's averaging about 5 1/3 points a game. Not many attempts at the free throw line, coming in just 7 of 12. But he makes both there. That brings North total to 5 for 12. They'll be looking to hit him more freebies. Tyler Johnson almost gets the steal from Quentin Garvis. Powell from the corner adds Jackson on the coverage, and a collision. That's going to go against Edo Walker. Walker seeking the steal, And North very perceptive of the long cross-court passes, but unfortunately, he uses up North's last foul to give. It's his first personal, so Washburn goes in the bonus for the final 5-12. Powell, once again in the corner, out to Shepard. They've hooked up on that play a couple of times. Jeff Jones out to Garvis. Three-pointer rims out. Clark with the rebound, fadeaway hook, no! Jones on the third try. The Washburn spreading the ball outside to open up the inside game. Jameel Jackson, he's tried a couple of deep threes, but nothing doing. Garvis with the rebound, Jones with numbers. Almost posterized Edo Walker, but George Clark is there once again. Offensive rebounding, second chance points. Washburn flourishing in that category. Walker, a stutter step, pull up three, swish. That's his first field goal and a much needed three-pointer for North. That trims a 10-point lead to 7. Tyler Johnson can't get the steal in time. It will stay with the Millers. 4 minutes left in the first half. 7-point game. And an influential conference duel. If Washburn can knock North off, they would pull within a half game. And that would also put Southwest back in the mix. A collision, but no foul call. Contact ruled incidental between Jones and Johnson. Jeff Jones, nope. Tyler Johnson finds Walker. Block to Tyler Johnson. And Kevin Gleason was set in time for the charge. Team control foul, no free throws awarded. But Kevin Gleason with a solid anticipation. That's the third foul against Tyler Johnson, and he's already going to the bench. That's not going to sit well with Larry McKenzie. Gleason working around the screen. Shepard on the outside. Runner, swish. Evan Shepard with 14 points. And it's a 9-point lead. It should be, yes it is. Walker to Isaac Johnson. Washburn picking up on this perimeter game of North, and they force Walker into a tough shot, but nobody's there to box out. Walker can't put back his own miss though. Gleason has it. What will he do? Bounce over to Jones. Triple on the way. Short rebound, Jameel Jackson. Jackson tried the crossover, almost lost the ball, but finds Isaac Johnson. That was deflected, stolen by Gleason. He's all alone. Jones is there. Jeff Jones, you could call him Mr. Clean in the first half. That's his third or fourth put-back bucket. And the Washburn fans, not many of them here, but they're appreciating the second chance effort. Jameel Jackson with the hook. He's up to 7. 9-point game in favor of the Millers. Tyler Johnson forcing the turnover, poking the ball off of Evan Shepard. 2:04 left. This isn't the first time North has been challenged. We talked about St. Paul Central. They played Belgrade Bruton Rosa at the Tip-Off Classic in December. They've played a lot of quality teams in the first half of the season. Garvis for 3. Yes! Washburn pulls their lead to 12. North got it within 2, 21-19. And Washburn pulling away since then. Blocked is Tyler Johnson. but he could not get it off of him. George Clark, I should say. So Minneapolis North gets a dead ball rebound. But a lot of veteran players on the Washburn group. No freshmen on the team, and 4 seniors. North has 5 freshmen and no seniors. Jameel Jackson draws the foul, and he'll shoot 2. 5 juniors also on the Washburn varsity roster. North just has 1, and that's Randy Matthews, a player we have not seen take the floor. Jameel Jackson, though, struggling from the free throw line thus far. Missed in his first 2 trips. First 2 attempts, I should say. Splits there. Once again, put back baskets. George Clark, the recipient this time. Jackson for 3, rims out. High Karam, and Wilson gets the bounce. No lack of offense in this game, I'll say that much. Gleason was bumped by Walker, but incidental, and a traveling violation. Jamin could not get the timeout call in time, and Gleason was trapped. He couldn't do anything with it, and he couldn't find a passing target. It's one of those situations where if you hit the deck, you can't get up. Otherwise, it's called traveling. You can't roll on the floor either, so he pretty much was had on that possession. But Washburn still has an 11-point lead. 44 seconds left on the clock. North may elect to hold for the final shot, if nothing else, just to keep Washburn from getting another try. Jameel Jackson sees the hole, but he can't put in the hook. Washburn with plenty of time. They may not use it, though, because Powell sees a one-on-one play, but the finger roll is off the mark. Jackson, will he pull up for 3? No, he'll kick out to Walker. He'll pull up for 3. And that's strong. Almost went off the support beam. And George Clark drawing the foul. He'll shoot free throws with North in the penalty. 12 seconds left in the first half. Clark, 10.4 points per game, his season high, 24. 1-on-1 situation, comes up empty. North with time, 7 seconds. Sanders kicks out to Walker, 3 seconds. Walker from deep! That's strong. North has tried that a few times, and they've come up short on each of those deep 3-pointers. Minneapolis Washburn using second chance points to their advantage. They have a 44-33 lead as we enter the halftime intermission. We'll confirm some numbers and names for you and come back with the start of the second half. This is high school boys basketball. We rejoin you at Minneapolis North High School as we continue our coverage of high school boys basketball. Mike Peden here in a Minneapolis City Conference game between the Minneapolis North Polars and Minneapolis Washburn Millers. Washburn leading 44-33. Thanks to a strong presence on the glass, a lot of second chance points on their end. Evan Shepard leads all players with 14 points. Jeff Jones has 11. George Clark has 9. Quentin Garbus has 7. North, led by Jameel Jackson with 8 points. Odell Wilson Jr. has 5. Tyler Johnson has 6. DJ Hunter also has 5. Hunter scored the first 5 points of the game. North led briefly 3-2, but it's been all Washburn since then. The closest point after the early buckets in the first half was 21-19, and then Washburn used their second chance proficiency to pull away. They're wearing the white jerseys, North wearing the blue. Tyler Johnson fade away off the mark. It's youth versus experience in this conference matchup. As we mentioned, Washburn, 4 seniors, 5 juniors. North, 5 freshmen, 3 sophomores and an 8th grader. Jeff Jones, pump fakes the 3, but he traveled. No, a foul was called. The foul is called against Isaac Johnson, and the foul situation is going to be one to watch. Evan Shepard, also a player to watch. He's up to 16. That's his average. Evan Shepard with the left-handed hook. Tyler Johnson has 3 fouls, and he's on the floor right now. Randy Matthews not available tonight for the Polars. And he was a huge presence down low in the win over Henry. Johnson, Isaac Johnson, has one-on-one coverage but can't post up around Jeff Clark or George Clark. That's all right. DJ Hunter trails behind him and 1. DJ Hunter, his full name is Dijon. 63% free throw shooter, 36% field goal shooter, averaging about 7.5 points per game. 3-point play. It's a 10-point margin. Garvis, left wing, fakes the 3, but travels in the process. This is a major conference game between Washburn and North, as we talked about in the open. North undefeated at 4-0, Washburn at 2-1. And Southwest also in the mix early. And the conference championship has importance. Wilson drawing the foul on Jeff Jones. We should mention number 40 for the Millers is Noah Burke. He was listed as 34 in the program. But the conference championship is important because it gets you the bonus game, the Twin Cities Championship, which gives you 1 extra game to assess your team strengths and weaknesses before the playoffs begin, where it's a one-and-done format. Wilson missing both free throws. North was just 6 of 14 from the line in the first half, and they don't help their cause on that trip. Charge is called. George Clark falls for that trap. Jameel Jackson drawing the charge. By comparison, North in the first half, 6 of 14 from the free throw line. Washburn, 3 of 5. Jackson blocked by Quentin Garvis, and he comes up with the ball. Washburn with numbers. Jeff Jones evades the steal, but can't complete the reverse layup. Jameel Jackson was tied up, gets the save though. Walker has the rock, he'll push. Tyler Johnson pump fakes the 3, and the fadeaway is good. And a timeout is called by North. They trail by 8, 46-38. But a big basket by Tyler Johnson, that brings them up to 8 points. No double-digit scores yet for the Polars. Coming in, they had 2 on the averages with Tyler Johnson and Jameel Jackson. Washburn has 2 players past double figures, Evan Shepard and Jeff Jones. Minneapolis North. How did Larry McKenzie get that job? He actually applied to rejoin Minneapolis Henry, but was not hired. They opted to go with Jeremy Miller, who had a lot of AAU experience. And I will save the rest of that story in our next break. Another traveling violation. This time it's Kevin Gleason who is the guilty party. And there's Khalid El-Amin rallying his North fans. He's on break from an overseas assignment. He also is involved in the Howard Poly Summer League, runs a team there, often one of the more talented groups, and that talent allows them to tutor the Howard Poly AAU team, who also competes in that Pro City Summer League. Walker from the corner, short. Shepard with the rebound. Washburn, nobody to stop Jeff Jones for the slab. And Washburn's defensive formation allows them to get outlet passes off with impunity. Traveling violation is called against Odell Wilson Jr. Gleason. Bounce pass is intercepted by Jameel Jackson. He has Tyler Johnson on the outlet. Johnson is stopped. And he was on the out of bounds line. Washburn with a big defensive play. Javar Fowler is coming in the game for the Polars. And North having to play without Randy Matthews. Jeff Jones almost lost his dribble, but recovers. Or does he? Washburn called the timeout. They have 3 left, and that was a bailout situation as Jeff Jones was trapped in the corner. 14:45 left, and since we're on that break, let's finish up the rest of the North story. McKenzie was looking to get the Minneapolis Henry job back. That didn't happen. Minneapolis North gave him a call, and McKenzie's first response was to pray about it, which he did, going through his devotions in the Bible, and he turned to the book of Matthew. It talked about how Jesus was rejected by his own people. You actually find that in a lot of the New Testament books. And McKenzie took that scripture as his answer, and the rest is history. And that comes from the reporting of Jim Paulson, who was at the North Henry game on Friday. Jim Paulson, the rep reporter for the Star Tribune. Jameel Jackson stealing the bounce pass away from Jones. Jackson drives, no foul called. And Clark comes up with it, but right to Jackson. Jackson, he's caught up, and he'll shoot free throws. Evan Shepard pleading his case, saying there was no foul. But Jameel Jackson will go to the line. He has struggled thus far, just making 1 free throw. And North as a unit, 6 of 16. Gleason is hit with the foul. That's his 3rd. He will be subbed out in place of Jabril Powell. Powell with 1 triple. Gleason has not scored. Jackson gets the bounce, makes both there. Makes it an 8-point game, 48-40. Garvis open for 3. Short this time. Rebound, Walker. Jackson has a lead, but not for long, and it goes off its foot. Washburn slowing the tempo down. Shepard avoids the trap. Fowler with the deflection. Jeff Jones picks it up. Jones double teamed. Entry pass. Fade away off the mark. And a loose ball foul is called against North. But because it happened while George Clark was coming in, they're going to call it a shooting foul, and he will shoot 2. Clark has not been successful from the free throw line thus far, though, but he does get that one. And that puts him to 10. Pure both attempts, and that pushes the lead to 10. Tyler Johnson has a hole, not much of one though. He saves it, and it's deflected off of Gleason, so North keeps it. And Tyler Johnson saves possession with his own pursuit. That's going to be a backcourt violation. You are allowed to pass to the backcourt, but Edo Walker was in front of the half-court line, then jumped back. The officials are having a discussion. The ruling was a backcourt violation, and now it's overturned. You are allowed to go to the backcourt on an inbound pass, and that's a clearer example of it. So North keeps possession. Isaac Johnson wasn't ready for the pass. Tyler Johnson hits the floor, no foul call. Garvis has Shepard. Shepard kicks out. Jeff Jones. Baseline hook. No. Walker with the rebound. Walker. Alley-oop time, but Tyler Johnson on the miss. Is that going to be a goaltend? Yes. Offensive goaltending. No basket for the Polars. Missed opportunity to electrify the crowd. Jeff Jones short on the runner. North will get another try. Tyler Johnson will take it himself. He'll draw the foul on Powell. Tyler Johnson with 8 points. He has made just 2 free throws, though. The foul is Powell's third. And both teams about even in depth. North getting a plethora of free throw attempts. And you wonder, all those missed points, how they'd factor in. But they do make both. Tyler Johnson now up to 10 points. North as a whole, 10 of 20, so they are turning things around a bit. 50%, that was the exact figure in the Central game. That makes it an 8-point game again. And for a younger team against a more experienced contingent, that allows them to regroup and regain their mental bearing. Washburn had a down year last year. Again, a transition was rough, but players that were a distraction to the philosophies Jamin Cook was attempting to instill cleared out, and now he has players who have bought into the system. The last 2 games were close ones, the 2-point loss to Southwest and an overtime win against Maranatha Christian Academy. He considered invaluable on the learning curve. Clark missing the hook again, but North in trouble. Jump ball, possession arrow favors Minneapolis Washburn. You got to make sure there's help, and that's always tough to get a rebound near the baseline because you don't have much room to work with. So Washburn gets to inbound under their own basket. Garvis blocked by Jackson as they clog the paint, but that leaves Gleason open for the jumper. He misses. Nobody boxing him out. High recoil. Ball is live, and that's going to be... that going to be a backcourt violation? Yes. And the officials sharing a laugh. They're trying to keep up with this pace. They may want to take up track. When they push, these players accelerate very rapidly. North trying to go back above 500. Washburn seeking back-to-back wins while gaining ground on their conference foe. Odell Wilson was blocked from behind, but a foul is called. Evan Shepard, the guilty party. That sends Wilson to the line. Wilson with just one free throw thus far. The foul is Shepard's first. That is Washburn's last to give. So North will be at the free throw line for the final 11:07. And this gives them an opportunity to gain some distance or close in their distance. Odell Wilson just completed the 21st and 22nd attempts from the free throw line for the Polars. North has made 12 of them. Johnson gets the deflection. Gleason trips. That's going to leave Jabbar open. Jameel Jackson was trailing but couldn't get a handle on it. Ball still live. And now what do we have? Jameel Jackson is on the floor and he's in pain. I didn't quite see it because there was a scramble for the ball, but Jackson hung on the rim as a defensive mechanism because of all the players that were coming and the trainer's holding his knee. This could be a huge blow to Minneapolis North. Jameel Jackson, one of the leaders of this team. We talked to him in Friday's game. He had 3 dunks. The first was absolutely brilliant. Jameel Jackson gets up, limping though. He is a transfer from Metro Tech, played there, and changed his mind about coming to Minneapolis North when Larry McKenzie got the head coaching job. Jameel Jackson grew up in this neighborhood and knew the pedigree of Larry McKenzie, a man who could rebuild and establish talented programs. This is going to be a significant loss for the Polars. I mean, it was good to see Jackson getting up. He goes back to the locker room. They'll take a look at him. 10:40 left. North down by 6. But Jackson with 10 points. So he sees behind Larry McKenzie on the bench. Maybe it was a cramp. Garvis, he'll post up and score. This will be a useful beacon in the realm of leadership for the North Polars. How you weather a series without one of your best players. Tyler Johnson draws the foul on Garvis, and that means free throws. It's a 1-on-1 situation for the Polars. Tyler Johnson has 10 points. And Jameel Jackson quickly subbing back in. It looked like it was just a cramp, and he'll take the place of Odell Wilson Jr., and that is a relief. Jameel Jackson, as we said, one of the cornerstones of this revitalized North team. D'Angelo Pruitt-Cooper also taking the place of Quentin Garvis as he picks up his third personal foul. Tyler Johnson at the line, 1-on-1 situation. North in the bonus the rest of the way. Empty. But Isaac Johnson, he can't get the bounce, and he had it right in front of him. He had a point-blank shot. Washburn will back off. Shepard, left wing, pure! Shepard with 19 points. Walker, runner, that's going to be short. Rebound going to Evan Shepard. Shepard has been impressive. Had a furious start, cooled off later in the first half. But a steadfast anchor. He'll try again. This time it's strong. Tyler Johnson with the rebound. North still with plenty of time, and no call is made there. Tyler Johnson draws the foul, and Jameel Jackson, he's hurting again. This time it's his other knee. A scary situation here for Minneapolis North. Jameel Jackson had his right knee cramping up just a few seconds ago. He comes back in, and he must have taken an awkward fall. He takes a drink from one of the assistant coaches. .9:16 left. He gets up again, and once again he's limping. He may have aggravated that injury, and we'll see what happens here as he goes through a stretch routine as they try to limber him up. So 2 injuries in the span of about a minute. We'll see how cautious, how conservative they are with Jameel Jackson, who has 10 points. Tyler Johnson, this is a shooting foul, so he'll get 2 shots. Came up empty on the last strip. But Washburn doing a great job at containing the up-tempo, blistering North offense. North scores about 75 a game right now. They're in the mid-40s. Johnson gets the bounce. Tyler Johnson up to 12 points. 55-46. Jeff Jones on the drive. He gets the roll. Jeff Jones with 15. Jones and Shepard doing the dirty work on scoring today. Johnson's mid-range shot is off the mark. Walker will try. He banks it in. That's just his second field goal. That brings him up to 5. And Washburn throws it away. Kevin Gleason misplaced Jeff Jones' location. You don't see that often, and a free ball for the Pullers. Walker guarded by Gleason. Attempted to drive and drew the foul. Which means free throws are coming. This is an area Washburn will be monitoring for the remainder of this game as the fouls are piling up. That's the 4th against Kevin Gleason. One more and he's done. 1-1 situation for Edo Walker. This is his first trip to the free throw line. Edo Walker came up from the JV roster, has 5 starts. Edo Walker the 4th is his full name. He's averaging just under 4 points per game, 48% free throw shooter. Pretty good field goal shooter though, 45%. Makes both free throws, and North is correcting their free throws ever so slowly, but it's a 7-point margin, and Noah Burke is going back in the place of Gleason. Powell losing the ball to Walker. Walker, can he beat his coverage? No, but he draws another foul. This time it's on George. Now what? Another whistle's called. Is that a technical? It is. Jeff Jones and Edo Walker were sharing a few words, and I believe a technical foul was called that's against Jeff Jones. So the technical free throws, and Walker also hit with 1. So that's going to put North in the double bonus for the last 8 minutes. And let's see what happens in this instance. So North will get their technical free throws, and then Washburn will shoot their pair. Khalid El-Amin is having a word with Isaac Johnson about the situation. Edo Walker splits that time, and so now we'll go over to the Washburn end as they shoot their free throws. A personal foul was called as well, so if my understanding of the rules are correct, Walker would then shoot the free throws associated with the personal foul. This may not be the neighborhood rivalry of North and Henry, but the emotions are brimming with the same intensity. Jeff Jones makes both free throws. And because the double technical was called, Walker will not be able to shoot his free throws related to that personal foul. George Clark going back in, and North also substituting Odell Wilson. So, a hectic sequence, and the officials are still conferring. 59-51 is the score. 8 minutes left in regulation. North still has 2 fouls to give. Washburn at 10, so North in the double bonus for the final 8 minutes. Washburn 7 of 10 from the free throw line. North 17 of 29. Clark can't get the turnaround hook that time. He'll get the ball again. This time on the backdoor cut to Shepard. Shepard is off the rim. North, even though they've struggled, Jameel Jackson goes back in. Keep an eye on him. He's had 2 knee injuries in the span of a minute. But North needs just 1 run to draw in the deficit. 8 points is not much, and they don't need to push the ball. Walker for 3, no. Johnson with the rebound, draws the foul on Powell. Johnson starting to hit his free throws. The foul is the 4th on Powell. That's 2 players at least on Washburn who have 4 fouls and are in danger of disqualification. Quentin Garvis going back in. And Jamin Cook facing a precarious scenario. And there's too much time for Washburn to simply kill clock here, with North being attentive of the passes. Offensive rebound, bounces away from Pruitt Cooper, and the Polars get a stop. 6:52 on the clock. Washburn playing a three-quarters press that time. North draws another foul. It goes against Pruitt Cooper. 2 free throws automatically. And Jameel Jackson will get the honors. I want to get how many trips, I'm going to show this to Bianca and get her reaction on how many free throws North has made in this game. And she's nodding her head. North has outpaced Washburn by a mile. North calls a timeout. They have 2 remaining. Jackson made both free throws. That bumps his total up to 12. Here's our score, 59-54 in favor of Minneapolis North. As we come out of the timeout, we've documented the resurrection of North frequently in our broadcast this season. They're looking to resurrect their win probability here. They trail by 5, plenty of time left, and remember, they are in the double bonus and have 2 fouls to give. 6:27, another thrilling conclusion appears to be at hand in Minneapolis City Conference play. Javar Fowler hit with the foul as he bumped Jeff Jones a little too viciously. North does have 1 left. And that last foul on Pruitt Cooper was his 4th, so 3 players with 4 fouls. Gleason, Powell, and North with a steal. It's Tyler Johnson. This time he gets the bucket in transition, and it's a 1-possession game. The North fans are now standing, cheering on their comrades on the floor. 1-possession game. Washburn led by as much as 12. Shepard, corner 3. Bullseye! That will silence the North fans for the moment. Evan Shepard with 22 points. But a lot of time left, 5 minutes, 40 seconds. Walker, crossover, 3-pointer in and out. And the collective exhale of disbelief from the North fans. North will keep the ball though. You ride an emotional wave every time you watch North take the floor. Their fans are devoted as they have returned to support the rebuilding of this school and this program. Jackson missing a 3-pointer. North was hitting those with more efficiency in the win over Henry. They've struggled here. pass is intercepted. Johnson over to Walker. Walker is stripped from behind. Quentin Garvis making the stop. North doesn't need a 3. Walker realizing this, and he's in with a charge. That's important because that's North's last to give, so Washburn will now be in the bonus for the final 5:02. Minutes. Shepard to Garvis. Pruitt Cooper open, and he gets the backdoor play. That's his first field goal. And now the pressure is blowing in North's direction. Washburn showing the zone this time. That was a dangerous pass. Jackson on the run, makes it home. Jackson up to 14. Jeff Jones with the floater. Jones up to 19. 8-point margin. 4 minutes to go. Walker. He goes back door to Jackson, who draws the foul, and that will stop the clock with 3:58 left. And if that's what North is able to do, draw fouls, that is where they can attack the depth of Washburn. Pruitt Cooper fouls out of the game. He finishes with just 2 points. And Washburn, they'll use their 30 seconds. They get to determine a replacement. Cooper out of the game. This will be attempts 34 and 35 for the Polars. And Bianca over here probably shot that many free throws throughout her entire high school career. Jameel Jackson with 14 points. But this is where North has struggled. As we mentioned, no player on this team shot above 65% entering this game. Jackson up to 15. Polars shooting 60% from the free throw line. 7-point game. Washburn loses the ball. They were killing the clock, passing it around. The problem with that is that if your pass is off target, it sails out of bounds. But North, they're going to need to score, and they can't wait around too long to do so. Still don't need a 3 at this point, but if they have an open look from beyond the arc, they will examine that possibility. Walker on the drive again, floats it in! Walker up to 10, 5-point game again. Walker, the third player to reach double figures for the Polars. Ball is live, it's stolen by North. Tyler Johnson one-on-one. He is fouled by Jeff Jones. And Jones hit with the technical earlier. And the officials intervening between him and Tyler Johnson. Tyler with an emphatic high five from Walker. It's the third against Jones. Tyler Johnson to shoot 2. And Washburn, again, having to manage the foul situation, so they can't necessarily foul North and keep them from scoring that way, because if they do, they're going to lose their players. They already lost one, D'Angelo Pruitt-Cooper. And this is a situation you normally see North in the first 2 games. Several of their players fouled out in the win over Southwest and in the win over Henry. Public address announcer reminding the fans to stay in their seats. I think they're concerned about somebody rushing the court. Tyler Johnson splits. He's up to 16. And I'm glad I have a lot of space to jot down all the free throws. That was 36 and 37 for the Polars. They made 22 of them. 4-point game. Shepard. North playing an aggressive defense. Garvis left alone for 3-point range. That rims out. Jackson with the rebound. What will he do? He evades traffic. Comes up empty on the layup. Scramble for the ball. It's last touch by Isaac Johnson. I know North is pushing. They want to score quickly, but you had a lot of time. Back off and look for a set play. That was a key to the game, too, establishing a half-court set. You had a lot of time. I know you're eager to score, but hold off, wait for a better look. At least that's my take. So now you give Washburn, a team that has a 2-possession lead, a chance to kill more clock. Shepard is fouled. Foul is on Wilson, his 4th. Evan Shepard with 22 points. Closing in. Well, we need a few more to get to his season high, but he has been clutch in this one. Converts on both. Washburn, 9 of 12. They don't get to the free throw line much, at least not in this game, but much more efficient when they are. Tyler Johnson draws the foul. He'll shoot free throws, and that stops the clock with 2:08. And that's on Gleason. Kevin Gleason is disqualified. He leaves the floor with no points. Washburn with 2 players out now, and they send in Jabril Powell, who also has 4. Pruitt-Cooper and Gleason are out of the game. Tyler Johnson with 16 points. It would stay a 2-possession game regardless, but North will take anything they can get at this point. Tyler Johnson makes both. 4-point game again. Both teams in the bonus. And the turnover! Tyler Johnson made just enough contact with Evan Shepard to prevent him from catching the pass. And North gets another chance. They have 2 minutes. Still a 2-possession game. But they don't need to rush it. They have time. Enough time to get a good clean look. Tyler Johnson, baseline drive, gets the bounce. Johnson swung around the perimeter. It's a 2-point game. Tyler Johnson with 20. North playing an aggressive defense, but that leaves George Clark open on the entry pass. It's a 4-point game again, 70-66. 1:23 left. Johnson working around the screen. Pulls up from 14. It's fouled, and it counts. Tyler Johnson leading the team in scoring at 17.5 per game. Coming up with some big plays here, the sophomore. The scoring leader of this team makes it a 1-point game. .14 left, 1-point game. Tyler Johnson with 23, he's closing in on his season high. We're not done yet. North with 2 timeouts left, Washburn I believe has 3. The crowd getting loud. Everybody's standing. We don't need these seats. No one's using them. And Washburn calls one of their 3 timeouts left. Jeff Jones said that was just to keep his body in rhythm. 1:01 remaining on the clock. Khalid El-Amin in attendance. He actually was interviewed in the story written by Jim Paulson, and his comments on the raucous crowd and the hiring of Larry McKenzie said it punctuated how no one in the community, no alumni, wants to see the school go under. He said they needed a coach who understood the meaning of basketball, not just for the sport, but for the community. And McKenzie brings fresh air to that program. Enrollment has doubled in the 9th and 10th grade classes, a 138% increase. And Hunter, Isaac Johnson, and Isaiah Poster, who doesn't get a lot of time, they trekked from Robbinsdale to play for Minneapolis North. It was a school battered with a shady reputation in their neighborhood. They get a lot of jokes and a lot of snarky, cynical remarks. Now they're coming back. Can North come back? They've led just once. Washburn with a 1-point lead. North in the penalty, but if they can't get a steal, they may look to consider fouling here as time winds down. 40 seconds left. Washburn, they are not going to do anything unless they see an opening. Anita Walker gets the foul. And that will be his 5th. Walker fouling out of the game. He finishes with 10. But that foul is not necessarily a bad thing, even though Walker goes out of the game. Quentin Garvis goes at the line, but the best he can do, it's a 1-on-1 situation, the best he can do is make it a 3-point game. It's still going to be 1 possession. Johnson, 30 seconds left. North can win it with any field goal, and Larry McKenzie's going to call timeout. Yet 2 remaining, 25 seconds left. A huge miss by Quentin Garvis. Here's the game reset. Washburn leads 70-69. Minneapolis North has a possession arrow if we get a jump ball situation. Washburn at 10 fouls, North with 8. And 25 seconds to go. Well, this will be another close game that Washburn can use in their revitalization project. Again, they had a bit of a down year last year as they adapted from the switch that led Jameen Cook to take the job from Reggie Perkins. Perkins took the job at Kennedy for a year before coming back as the athletic director. And he said the Maranatha game and the Southwest game gave them an impression of how to approach close finishes. This will be another example that Washburn can use as they push forward in their schedule. North going to the backcourt. They touch the ball. Now the 10-second clock will start. North will hold it for one shot. 10 seconds. Will Tyler Johnson take it himself or will he look for help? Tyler Johnson pulls out. Jackson for three. No. Rebound. Put back by Isaac Johnson with 3 seconds on the clock. Nobody was on the weak side. Isaac Johnson. A huge basket, but plenty of time for the Millers. The officials keeping everyone back. Khalid El-Amin wants to rally the troops. The game is not over. 3 seconds left. Holy cow! Isaac Johnson. That play was reminiscent of a couple days ago with Kentucky and Arkansas when Michael Qualls in overtime got a put-back slam. Nobody was there to box him out on the weak side. And in this situation, Isaac Johnson had nobody to box him out either, so he put in the weak side layup. And that gives North the lead. They put 1 second back on the clock. 4 seconds left. This is high school basketball, so you cannot advance the ball on a timeout. Security trying to keep everybody in their seats. If North wins, they might storm the court here, but there's still a lot of time. Washburn, they're familiar with this situation. Remember, in the 2012 state tournament, they lost to De La Salle on a jumper from A.J. Barker. They had 8 seconds left after getting a go-ahead basket of their own. So they know this situation. The coaching staff familiar with this situation. And Larry McKenzie will call a timeout after getting a look at Washburn's formation. Everyone will have to hold their breath for a few seconds longer. It's the last timeout for North, but since they don't have the ball, it's not going to be necessary. The North fans in rally mode here. If North hangs on, they would stay undefeated in conference play, going to 5-0 and go back above the 500 mark in the overall record. Washburn looking to avoid their 3rd loss in the last 4 games. Plenty of time left. 4 seconds on the floor from the Millers. Shepard, Garvis, Jones, Clark, and Powell. North has Isaac Johnson, Jackson, Tyler Johnson, Wilson, and Sanders. Nope, that's Hunter, I should say. Here we go, 4 seconds to decide the winner. Jeff Jones gets across half court. Runner! It's in! Jeff Jones! Oh my goodness! Beat the buzzer! The basket counts! The basket counts! 73-70 the final! Unbelievable! Are you kidding me? Oh! And our camera operator is speechless. The North fans are speechless. The most exciting finish you will see this season, bar none. The The final score, 73-70. Washburn wins back-to-back games. North falls for the first time in conference play, and it's a reversal of what happened at the state tournament 2 years ago. We'll try to get a word with a couple of the Washburn players. What an exciting finish. This is high school boys basketball. I'm here with Jeff Jones and Evan Shepard. They both put in equal numbers in scoring with 23 points, and you held on to withstand a furious North charge in those final few minutes. Jeff, we'll start with you. You got the game winner, but those 10 seconds, I'm sure your heart probably jumped out of you. How would you describe the final 10 seconds?
Really, it was confusing, honestly. It was a lot of commotion going on. There was a lot of screaming, and Coach Jamin just told us to put our head down. If I get the ball, run down, try to make the shot, drive, if not, kick it. And, it was just a great shot. A little bit of luck, help from God. And
a near reversal of 2 years ago when Washburn was in position to win the state tournament, except you're on the benefiting end of a game-winning jumper. How does it feel?
It feels great. It's a blessing to be able to come out and play this game every night and be able to get a chance to hit a game winner. Not a lot of people get to do that in their career, so I just feel blessed right now, really happy.
And how big is it to knock off North, a team that was undefeated in conference play until tonight?
It was a big win from us. We came into this game knowing that it was going to be a big game and that North was on the rise. They got a new coach, McKenzie, over there that's really changing that program around. And we knew that was going to be a tough battle tonight. We came out victorious.
Speaking of coaches, your team has gone through that transition. Reggie Perkins left a couple of years ago. He's back as the athletic director. You've had John Main Cook the last couple of years. What would you make of his role as mentor?
Reggie Perkins?
Cook.
He's a great coach. He's been around the program when we was losing, when we were winning, and he's been a player, a part of this program. So he knows what it takes to win the city conference, and he knows what it takes to win the state tournament. He's a young coach with young players that just need to keep going.
And the player next to you, Evan, you didn't hit the game winner, but you had a big performance early. You scored a lot of points in the first half, and you hit some big shots of your own. How did you get things in rhythm tonight?
I had to stay focused. I didn't have a great game the game prior to this game, and I had to get my mind right and keep shooting, stay confident, and everything just worked out for us tonight.
How emotional was your attitude in those last 10 seconds? Isaac Johnson getting the putback on the weak side, and then Jeff Jones hits the three-pointer, and Washburn just about storms the court. It was reminiscent of the Indiana win over Wisconsin a couple days ago.
Yeah, we had to just stay focused in those last seconds. We didn't try to overplay or lose our head. We just had to stay focused, stay calm, and get a good shot. Jeff came through. We're blessed, man. We're blessed. That was a great game.
Speaking of teams on the rise, Jeff talked about this. You've also been rebounding. Last year had a bit of a down year. Now your guys are coming back to form. What's the difference between last year and this season for the Millers?
There was a lot of changes last year. One with the coach again, and we just had to stay focused. We had to come and really build this year, get our confidence and our composure, and we just came out and played a great game tonight.
So are you going to work on your game winners for Saturday's contest down in Owatonna?
No, I just gotta stay focused and stay confident in that game too, and hopefully it doesn't have to come down to a game winner. But
and then, but just quickly, the coach talked about how these last three games have been crucial for you in getting through close finishes. So how does this game add to that tutoring?
I'm gone next year, but all these close games is great coming up for the section tournament. It's great coming in the close games that we're going to have if we make it to state. And it's really great for these guys that's going to be coming up next year. You're in tough games, and you know how to keep your composure when the games are close.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great win for the kids coming back, and for the seniors for their final senior run. This is a good thing for them, and this is just good so that we learn that we don't have to put ourselves in these tough positions.
And lastly, is there anyone you want to say hi to that might be watching this online or on TV?
I don't know who's going to be watching online, but I just wanted to say thanks, God, for blessing me with the talent that you give me and the Miller's W.
Yeah, thank you to my dad, my mom, my family, all the fans that came out to watch us, and thank you, God, for this blessing win.
Don't forget your cousin who's also going to play on Saturday.
Yeah, yep. Can't forget her.
If you ain't on this, oh yeah, she a Miller girl. You know, we gotta support them.
Well, I'm sure the support will be big. I know the girls have a big rematch, and you've got a big game, so it's going to be 2 fun games, but you get an exciting win to build on that for Saturday. Congratulations, and try to catch your breath tonight.
Yeah, right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jeff Jones and Evan Shepard of Minneapolis Washburn. That does it from here. The final, Minneapolis Washburn 73, Minneapolis North 71. I'm Mike Beaton, and until I catch my breath, we'll see you next time.